Happy Monday, everybody. Sorry, John. I really don't. This is a terrible entrance to a show. I don't know what the heck you were just doing in the background, but happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Plug Talk Sports live show, episode 174. My name is Danny. We've got Jonka and we've got Brandon L. And I can just say Brandon tonight because the other Brandon is feeling a little bit under the weather. So just hope that he gets better and he can join us next week. But wow, the intro music was different. When I went on, I was like, wait a minute, is there something's happening? Is there something wrong? It was different. That was cool. Anyways, guys, let's go into our plug and shameless plugs of the week. Let's start with the bad. Brandon, talk to me. In the last week, something bad that you saw, read, experienced?
The Miami Heat blowing second half leads.
Yeah.
Which is literally what we were talking about, 5 minutes like off camera before we started live. I mean, we'll go into it more tonight, but I don't know what's going on in South Beach. I mean, this team is a mess. Even tonight, scoring only 86 points against a not so great Atlanta Hawks team. So that's definitely my easy shameless plug of the week.
Jaka?
I mean, can't really top that one, bro. But like, it's gonna. I think it would have to be not like anything has to do with like Miami related, but it's gonna have to be Shador Sanders declining to go to the NFL Combine, but yet at the same time, the other Sander, Shiloh, doesn't get invited to the Combine. So it's kind of like drama with the Sanders right now. So do I like it? No. I feel like if you're invited to the Combine, at least show up. Yeah, you don't have to do like I know like they have plenty of like film on you already, but like I feel bad for Shiloh that he's like, damn, bro, like the only spotlight is on my brother, bro. It's like, damn, dad.
Hey, more talented than the other. That's what happens. For me, it has to be, taxes. Got to pay back to Uncle Sam, and then, I didn't really get much back. So, yeah, it's that time of the year where you gotta file your taxes and pay Uncle Sam what you owe. So that's not always fun unless you're getting a nice, handsome check back. But you know what? I really don't expect those things. You just gotta go out and work hard. But yeah, giving away your money to taxes is not always the most fun thing to do. Let's go to the plug of the week. Something good, Brandon. Talk to me.
So this is easy. I think a lot of people would agree with this. The Dolphins cancer challenge every February, right? And they've been doing this now for 15 years, and they've raised over $75 million with all that money going towards cancer research for the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center. I think it's honestly the greatest event across all sports. And it's honestly something that I want to start doing starting next year. I always have to work on that Saturday, so it's why I can never attend it. But definitely next year, 2026, I need to get on it, donate, because it is honestly I always say it's probably the greatest off the field community event across sports. So definitely the Dolphins Cancer Challenge.
I will be joining you. You do it next year. I'll be right there alongside you, and I'll join you.
I don't know if I'm gonna bike 99 miles, but I definitely want to walk, and I really want to get involved because players are out there, coaches are out there, communities out there, and it's a really good chance to talk about stuff that doesn't involve football, right? I mean, this is obviously something that millions and millions of people are sadly affected with. And I think it's honestly a great day for everyone to donate and come together for a really special cause. So I'm in next year. I mean, 1,000% sign me up. I definitely want to be out there. I interact with a lot of them on Twitter, media guys, fans. players, coaches. So I want to get a chance to not talk about football and just be out there hanging out with the South Florida community. So definitely that's my flood of the week.
I'll definitely be out there with you for sure. If schedule allows and I'm able to be out there with you, I'll be joining you 100%. I think there's several. I think the Marlins do one as well. I think it might be for a different cause, but I know they
I
do
think
one
the
as
Florida
well.
Panthers, if I'm not mistaken, as well, do one, I believe.
Yeah. There's several that I want to do. The one I mentioned to you earlier through text for ALS that's coming up on May 3rd.
Right.
That one's a bit more personal for me. And then there's one, but I think this one was just a random marathon, but I think it's pretty cool where you get to run down the runway at Miami International Airport.
Oh, okay.
It seems pretty cool. But yeah, definitely. If I can make it, I would love to join you next year for that.
Definitely. Yeah, let's do it.
Jonka?
If for anybody that follows Hurricanes men's basketball, obviously this year a lot of drama has happened with Larinaga quitting mid season about the NIL and stuff like that. Kind of like the same Saban situation where he's like they're tired of this pro style kind of like recruiting that they're dealing with. But apparently this hasn't been fully confirmed yet that the next head coach of the Hurricanes will be Jai Lucas, who currently is with Duke, and was an influential piece in getting the Boozer twins, who represent Christopher Columbus High School.
Yep.
And he previously was a coach at Kentucky and Texas, other big programs. So, and he did also work in the recruiting for Cooper Flagg, who is probably going to be the #1 overall pick this year. So, the Canes, after like a very disappointing season so far, I think they got a good hire, good recruiter. I think that's what they needed. I don't think the problem right now is the team and the players. I think it's just more leadership and coaching. That's what they lost with Larinaga and his experience. But good thing that Jai Lucas, he brings that, and hopefully I can't wait for next year because basketball this year for college has been crazy. But unfortunately, I couldn't get to enjoy because my team sucked.
And speaking of Duke, tomorrow night, Miami's a 22.5-point underdog.
Bro,
I mean, is there anybody sprinkling some money on the Hurricanes to upset Duke?
Bro, we're getting blown out by 40. I have no faith.
I think probably the most important question in Hurricanes basketball news is, did the Cavenders get their stolen car back?
I heard they did, and I also heard there was a reporter from WSVN Channel 7 who literally went up to Carson Beck mid-game watching his girlfriend play and was trying to ask him about the stolen cars. I mean, hey, kudos to him, but as a journalist, that's something I would never do, like ever. I'm not walking up to a collegiate athlete mid-game watching my significant other play and ask, hey, those two cars that, those really two expensive cars that were stolen, I mean, what's the story with, like, that had to have been a very awkward comment. Like,
and listen, the fact that they were, I just don't look. I'm a light sleeper. I got the alarm on at night. The moment someone enters my house, like, I'm gonna know about it. I got cameras. I'm gonna know about it. Especially, I keep the car keys close, so if someone's coming for my car keys, I'm gonna know about it. So the fact that they were both sleeping and the person entered the house and was able to get away with two cars and them not know anything till they woke up that's crazy.
No, it is. And I mean, I just can't believe that this journalist walked up to him mid-game and was like, hey, Carson, what happened? I mean, you got to be insane to do that. I mean, ballsy for sure, but you have to, I mean, hey, great journalism there, but Carson Beck was definitely not having it. I mean, you saw from the video, he shut down any conversation that he was wanting that the journalist was hoping to have with Beck. It certainly was not happening.
It was like, damn, it's been a rough day already. I'm here decompressing, watching my girlfriend play. That's the least thing I want to talk about right now. For me, it's gonna have to be Formula One is back. I had an event last week in London to unveil all the new cars.
There you go.
Yo, there. Hey, hold up. Now that you showed yours, hold up. I got mine. I got mine right here. Um, yeah, I'm excited. Preseason testing is in Bahrain this week. 2 sessions a day, Wednesday through Friday, to see how the new cars are, and then just later on in the upcoming new month in March, we go racing in Melbourne, Australia. So I'm ready for that, and I've been to one Grand Prix. I went to the Las Vegas Grand Prix, the inaugural one, and this year I'm looking to go to the Miami one. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see Formula One back on TV. First order of business, and it's not one that I'm kind of salty about. I'm not excited to talk about. But the United States loses to Canada 3-2 in overtime in the Four Nations face-off. It was a great game. It was a great game. It was a great tournament overall. I think there was a lot of headlines around that the NHL got this right compared to the product the NBA is putting out there that me and Brandon spent a good, I'd say, 3 hours at Jonka's house scratching our heads of like, what the hell is going on? Is this thing still on TV? But I think they got it right with this Four Nations face-off. And I really wanted the U.S. to come on top. I really did. They beat Canada in Montreal. It got personal with the Canadians booing the American national anthem. It was a beautiful display before this game started with the Americans, singing our national anthem in unison. The random USA chants throughout, the middle of the game. I just think that what really hurt this team was losing Matthew Tkachuk. Yep. Probably midway second period and didn't play at all, third period and overtime. I think that really hurt them. And then, what can I say, man? Connor, I just don't – how do you leave the most probably dangerous person on the Canadian team, Connor McDavid? You leave him wide open for a shot. He scores in overtime, and now we got the Canadians saying that, oh, the Americans, the United States, they're the 11th province of Canada. But, and my response to that is, listen, you guys haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1993.
And that's what I was just going to say. Like,
listen, they have their comeback to that. I've heard comebacks to that already. Like, oh, but most American teams, it's the majority Canadians that play on American teams. Well, look, my response,
Canadian teams.
Yeah, my response to that's all right. Well, I mean, you probably have majority Canadians on Canadian teams, so your Canadian team should still be able to win. But yeah, it was a little salty for me. And, Justin Trudeau was, what we like to call him down here now, Governor Trudeau, was bragging about it and stuff like that. So, kudos to them. They won. Congratulations. But, wasn't happy about it.
I mean, hey, Florida Panthers fans have to be smiling, though, because Sam Bennett scored, right? And Connor McDavid still didn't get it done in Game 7 of last year's Stanley Cup. So, hey, you can have that random Four Nations championship. I'll take my Lord Stanley. I mean, that's really how I saw it. But piggybacking what Danny said, hell of a tournament. I'm honestly excited to see come Olympic time what they do, because if it's a format like that, automatically sign me up. I think the ratings would be out of the roof. My eyes were glued to the round robin and the championship game. The NBA All-Star game, we've already chatted about it. I think it was a total waste of time. But no, USA Canada. The only thing was I did not expect USA to beat Canada twice. I thought maybe when Canada when they opened up the scoring, I thought Canada was low-key gonna blow them out. But then USA eventually took a 2-1 lead, and then Canada tied it from Sam Bennett. So hell of a game. It's honestly what many people thought was going to happen. If I had to flip a coin, I probably thought the game would go into overtime because it is the last game left. And but no, hell of a game. And like I said, I'm just curious to see come Olympic time what happens, because hockey definitely, those ratings are definitely going to be out of the roof if that's an official Olympic sport.
Jonka?
Oh, yeah, bro. Unfortunately, it just had to be Sam Bennett, bro, to tie it up. And
I thought we had it, man. I thought we were closing that out, and then Sam Bennett scored.
when I realized it was Sam Bennett, I was just like, damn, do I really have to hate him for the next 24 hours? But you know what? They played a hard game, bro. Like like I agree with Brandon. It's good to beat them twice. It's gonna be tough, especially that we beat them in their house. Now they try to beat us in our house. It did go overtime. Unfortunately, Connor McDavid did hit the goal, but it doesn't matter. South Florida, we up. Florida runs hockey right now, so I don't care what Canada says. If a state is dominating hockey and not a country, buddy, don't run your mouth. Especially South Florida, that we're closer to the equator than most of the other states. So just pointing that out. Um, no, but I would have to agree. I think the viewership was like 15 million. I don't think it was like way more than the All Star weekend.
Yep.
I think more people viewed the Saturday, the 3-point contest and the dunk contest than they did the actual All Star basketball game. If I'm correct.
Also, this was our country, right? Our nation. So I feel like, especially this championship game, there was a sense of pride and unity within the country. People didn't even like hockey. We're like, I want to watch it because I'm American and I want the Americans to win.
Yep.
I mean, when I went out to dinner for championship night, everybody was glued to it. I mean, whether you were supporting USA or Canada, it was pretty much too the only thing on TV too that night in terms of sports. So it was like, I mean, viewership had to have been through the roof.
Now, I don't want to discredit or just make it feel like it wasn't as big as it was. But do you think the viewership was that big because of the previous game with the 3 fights in 9 seconds?
Could be.
I
also think viewership because it's the two best teams left.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, USA, Canada, it's like we just had an American versus Canadian Stanley Cup final. So it's like, I mean, I think people, but I would totally agree in that 3 fights in 9 seconds. I mean, a lot of people love going to hockey games today just to see the players fight. I mean, I've taken a lot of people to games in the past, and they don't care whether the Panthers win or lose. They just want to see someone get knocked out. I mean, that it sounds very corny, but I feel like that's what a lot of non-sports fanatic people like to do is they like to go to a hockey game and they like to see grown men get punched.
I mean, you're paying essentially for a UFC fight, but not UFC prices.
But on ice, right? Basically.
Yeah. I think I'll be very intrigued to see what next year's Four Nations face-off countries will be chosen and selected. I mean, do you think do you think USA and Canada will always be in it?
No, I mean, in terms of what's going on in hockey today, I mean, there's a lot of excellent Swedish players.
Yeah.
There's a lot of excellent Finnish players. I mean, here I'll start with one, Alexander Barkov. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's a box office type name that he's gonna be selling tickets at the Adore. So I mean, to be the best, like we always say, to be the best, you have to beat the best. And if you can't beat USA and Canada, then we might look at these two teams for the foreseeable future. There's an excellent, I mean, Russian, Sweden, Finland, there's a lot. Hockey's global. And if you just go to a typical Florida Panthers game, you see it on the ice.
Yeah. It will be interesting. I would like to see. It would be interesting in next year's Four Nations face-off if they choose Russia.
I personally don't think they're gonna leave out USA or Canada because just how the world works and money makes the world go around. If you eliminate the United States of America or Canada, it's like your revenue stream is going to be so down. Your viewership is going to be way down because it's like, why do you want to watch at that point?
Well, Canada is definitely going to be obviously chosen because they won, so they're going to be chosen to be defending champions. And obviously USA will be chosen again too because they made the final. Sweden and Finland, yes, excellent hockey countries, but we'll see if they change it up. I trust me, if they were to pick Russia, Brandon Jaka, I kid you not, this will be Rocky versus Drago all over again on ice. And I think that would incite more American pride to watch hockey, to see a USA versus Russia
Can you imagine?
hockey. I mean, Miracle on Ice, US against
Right.
Soviet Union.
Right.
I think that would
Which
be
feels like forever ago.
yeah.
It was 4 nations, right?
What, this specific?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was for the Miracle on Ice, or no?
No, the 4 nations. Yeah.
4 nations face
Yeah,
off.
4 nations. I mean,
I
it
would
would be
like-
kind of
I-
dumb.
I-
It was like 6 countries, and it's called 4 nations.
I would like for it to be 6 or 8, just so that more countries could be involved. Give it a little bit more interesting with the variety of countries that actually do play hockey, like you said. It would, I don't know, just expand it a little bit more. Like 4 nations was cool and all, but like it felt kind of quick. Like people didn't, I guess, like they just caught up about, like they heard about the fights, right? And then they say, oh, they have a rematch on Thursday. Oh, we're gonna go watch it. And that's what I kind of felt like, because if you didn't watch the game itself and the fights didn't happen, would you have known about the, like, would a normal person, not like us, but like a normal person would have known about the game? I don't think so.
I'd keep it at 4, just because if you start going beyond 4, we already have the Olympics for that.
And you also don't want your star players like what we're seeing right now with Kachuk.
Yeah, because this is meant to be kind of like an all-star break sort of sense, and like, again, we really lost Matthew Kachuk, so you don't really want to be losing more players.
Which is crazy, because I thought the Florida Panthers were going to specifically say how long is Matthew Kachuk going to be out with his lower body injury. They haven't. I mean, I haven't seen an exact timetable. I mean, there was a Canadian reporter who said he was possibly done for the remainder of the season.
Yep.
And then local media spoke to Paul Maurice today, and he said that's not, like, he's definitely going to be playing, but they don't know exactly how long he's going to be out. So you look at that for the foreseeable future, and that's probably why they don't want to expand it to 6, 7 teams, because you don't want these star players getting hurt. Yeah. And then viewership for hockey could even drop down, because if you go to a Florida Panthers game with all the superstars they have now, everybody goes for Matthew Tkachuk. So it's like, I mean, God willing, hopefully he's not out for the whole season. I don't think he is, but there still hasn't been a timetable posted as to how long he's out for.
I'll tell you what, if he's out for the whole year,
yeah, that's a major blow for a Panthers team looking to repeat.
Yeah.
I also do think, though, Brandon, I think this year, I think you can see it a little bit that they look a little bit tired.
Oh yeah, they do. I mean, this is a team that's looking to go to the Stanley Cup final in
3rd straight year
seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something that any Florida Panthers fan would have laughed at you, spit at you, if you would have thought this team would have had a remote chance to go in once, let alone 3 consecutive June. Like, I legitimately think they have a chance to get back there. Yep. They're gonna need Matthew Tkachuk, though, because over 20 goals scored so far this season. The dude's been playing lights out. So this injury is coming at a terrible time. If the Panthers want to get back, though, and hoist Lord Stanley back in Sunrise, Florida, they're going to need Matthew Tkachuk. Now, God willing, you hope he's not out for a long time, and the Panthers probably put him on long-term IR. But remember, with the NHL trade deadline soon coming, Bill Zito could go out there and get someone while Tkachuk stays on long-term IR. So who knows? We'll see. Maybe his brother Brady comes here. Who knows?
That'd be awesome.
Oh, I'd love that. That'd sell tickets.
Then what? You're gonna have 2 teammates, Sam Bennett and Tkachuk, fighting again, bro? Didn't they fight in the second round?
They did. Yeah,
that was funny.
I think they can get there too, Brandon. Obviously, yeah, like you said, they're gonna need Tkachuk.
Right.
But I do think to get there this year, I think it's going to be a lot harder through the Eastern.
Oh, it is, especially with the way Edmonton's playing, Toronto, Washington. There's a lot of good teams that are sneaky this year. And it's crazy because if the Panthers and the Maple Leafs somehow meet come postseason time, their starting goaltender who's been playing lights out is the former Panthers goaltender in Anthony Stolarz. So how crazy would that be where we might get a second-round preview of Panthers against Maple Leafs with Sergei Bobrovsky going up against his former teammate?
Yeah. And I told Jonka earlier, and he said that would be absolutely insane. A rematch in the Stanley Cup Finals of Oilers against Panthers.
Oh, that would be record-breaking. I mean, you're talking about viewership, player names, merchandise. That would be global for sure.
You already know Connor McDavid's coming for revenge.
Yeah.
Next topic. Inter Miami opening day against NYCFC. Boy, do I have a lot to talk about on this topic. There was a lot of off-season moves, especially in that back line in the defense. They get a new coach in Javier Mascherano, who I thought was a crazy hire because the guy has no head coaching experience really aside of coaching a youth program in Argentina, and then you elevate him to, quote unquote, the best team in the MLS, getting the Supporters Shield last year, record-breaking season, and it ends in depression and disappointment in a first-round exit to the last seed Atlanta United in a best-out-of-3 series. Out of this game against New York, it looked in the beginning, 5 minutes in, Tomas Aviles gets the goal. It's 1-0. It looks like Miami's dominating. It looks like, for the foreseeable future of this season, they're going to be a tough team to play against. And then Aviles, who, in my opinion, doesn't always make, or more than often, doesn't make smart decisions, decides to tackle inside the box, which I thought he was 3 yards inside the box and it should have been a penalty, but somehow the referee said it was on the edge of the box, and I still don't know how. But a red card was given to Aviles. Miami goes down to 10 men, and then from there on, New York City got the momentum. This is a New York City team. They still have Santi Morales, but this is a New York City team that doesn't really have that much option in terms of attack, and they were really putting pressure on that Miami back line. There's no Drake Callender in goal. Uzatari is named the starting goalkeeper. And New York City's able to equalize off of what looked like a rehearsed set piece.
It was off of Jordi Alba mistake.
That was the goal for the lead. The first goal was the free kick off of the red card, and everyone thought he was going to shoot the free kick. It was a pass over to the side, caught Miami napping, and it equalized 1-1. And then, as Jonka just said, in the second half, a veteran like Jordi Alba makes a boneheaded mistake, passes the ball in a dangerous area, and New York scores to take the lead 2-1. And then, 11 minutes of stoppage time because they were looking for potential penalty in the box. The VAR took like 30 minutes, and an obvious call that it should not have been a penalty. And then they finally decided it wasn't a penalty, so they had to give 11 minutes of stoppage time. And then Messi breaks loose, gives it to Segovia, equalizes 2-2. Both teams share points. But if you're looking at this game, New York City comes away winners in this one because you're not supposed to win against this team. You're not predicted to win. They enter Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, first game of the year. They're already down 1-0, and they come away with a draw against Inter Miami. And it just, again, not surprised. This is the sort of thing that happens to Inter Miami all the time. What did kind of bother me was post-game, and I talked about it with Jonka yesterday. I'm probably sure he doesn't really agree with me, but Messi's behavior, I think, is he's come to this league, and the league has catered everything to him. Whatever he wants, Messi gets. And after the game, he's barking at the referee, about the referee's decisions. The referee has enough of it. This is after the game. Gives him a yellow card, and then clear as day on camera with a New York City assistant coach puts his hand on his neck and kind of shoves him. If this was any other player, we'd be hearing that there's a 3-match suspension for this player. But since it's Messi, the league won't do anything. It's kind of the same with the NBA and LeBron James. I just think it's a lack of class from Messi. But that's all I have to say about that topic.
I mean, I will say and this goes for any professional sport. Anytime you get a new head coach, it's gonna take some growing. It's gonna take some chemistry. But Messi having 2 assists, I think, is a great start for obviously the best soccer player in the world. I don't think we all need to sit here and have a discussion on that. But
I'm open to having a discussion on that, 100%.
Really?
I think he's number 2. I've never thought he was number 1.
Well, who do you think's number 1?
Cristiano Ronaldo, hands down.
See, I'm not a big soccer freak, but who's won more World Cups?
Well, considering that the last World Cup, which in my personal opinion, I think it was handed to him, as well as the last 3 Ballon d'Ors, which no one really takes that award ceremony seriously anymore because they're just handing it out to whoever.
Right.
We can get in this whole discussion, man. This is a whole debate that's been going on for years.
It's sort of like who's like LeBron, Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. It's
which
a
we already know. Jonka's brother likes. We
won't even get into that one, man.
Jonka's brother, we already know he's a LeBron goat. So.
But yeah, back to the game.
Yeah, so when it came to Alvarez scoring, obviously in that 5th minute, I was like, all right, it was actually a great play made by.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, we got this. But then Alvarez obviously gets a red card. Now I had to replay that red card a couple times because I feel like it should have been a yellow, but it's just
a penalty.
And a penalty. But I just feel like how awkward the positioning for both players were, because Aviles did get the ball first. He did kick the ball away first, but the way I forgot his name, the guy's name, I think it was Martinez. I think
yes.
The way he fell made it look like it was worse than it actually was. But that's up to the referee.
He did take him out. He took him out.
He took him out, but I think it's he kicked the ball away, and then then that's when he was grabbing kind of was too much. Then he fell. I don't know. That's from what I saw. Yeah. But at the same time, but after that red card, Taremi has to go the rest of the game with 10 men. And it's damn, now you're down a man. Now you're kind of more on a defensive side. And so the attacking wasn't really there. I mean, think about it. They were still trying to make plays the whole game, but with 10 men. And then obviously Alba makes a stupid mistake. I don't know who he was passing it to. Maybe he thought somebody was there and he didn't think he was there. Martinez just goes, easy goal, puts him up 2-1. And then Messi's free kick. This is where I have a problem. Obviously, it was a great kick. Obviously, Messi's not going to really mess up too much on those. It was blocked, but then the goalie mishandles the ball.
Yeah.
And only Ian Frey was the one that even runs in to try even Everybody else just stood there like deer in headlights, what are we supposed to do? And the set pieces continue to fail this damn team for some reason. And then Redondo, bro, has a wide open shot, bro.
Wide open chance.
Bro, wide open, butt cheeks spread out, bro. The whole thing. That was the 84th minute. And then obviously you can't go the whole game without locking down Messi. You give him any sort of window, bro. Any window, any space, any crack, nothing. He goes on, gives the assist to Talasco Segovia in the 90th minute with the 10th extra minute. Goes on, assist, tie game, boom, boom, tie. It's a draw. Both teams get awarded +1 in the points. Man, from what I took from this is,
let me, because this is something you talked about a lot, Jonka. Did you see the defense at any sort have any improvement?
It's kind of
You stuttered.
it's kind of tough because they were down. They were down a man, so
Yeah.
they were having to scramble like a little bit more than usual. And it was the first game, so obviously Brandon said like, oh, new coach. There's going to be some headaches. There's a lot of roster turnover, so there's going to be a lot of communication issues. Messi's going to have to work his way, his magic this season, because he's going to have to try to get these players in order. Because that effort on that Messi free kick, bro, and Ian Frey being the only one that actually tried to go for the ball and try to create something, that the ball was still free, it was still in play, and yet nobody besides Ian Frey.
I'm saying it. MLS put out a tweet last week before the season started, and they said, "What are your takes for this year, and what is your surprise?" I said Atlanta United will win the East or Columbus Crew, and the surprise will be the San Jose Earthquakes. And I just don't think this Inter Miami team improved enough in the offseason compared to some of the biggest challenges, or challengers, should I say, that they have in the Eastern Conference. Yes, they have Messi, but again, they lost in the first round to Atlanta United, who's gotten a whole lot better, who has their sporting director from last year, Chris Henderson, moved on to Atlanta, and that Atlanta team did it with absolutely nobody and took out the record-setting Inter Miami. I'm telling you, I think it's going to be a hard time for Miami.
I don't want to say anything after this game because obviously there was 10 men on the field. Then also like Alba's hardly ever going to give away another goal like that. More likely than not, it's not going to happen again. So that's a free goal right there. And then obviously, that could be, it's a controversial call. You could have called it like outside the box, inside the box, however it could have gone. If it was called a penalty, which I think it should have been called a penalty, it could have been blocked. It could have been scored. You never know.
But just the way that they scored, though, Jonka, the way New York scored off of that free kick, they caught Miami napping entirely.
Yeah, I don't know what that's the one curse, Brandon. If you don't know, Inter Miami with set pieces, on both sides, defense or offense, is absolutely atrocious.
You guys have to take me to a game. I've honestly never been to Chase Stadium yet,
bro.
I honestly haven't been. I haven't been to an Inter Miami game.
I'm telling you right now, you're gonna understand what it means about pain, bro. You're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna see people just not
have a
doing their
Dolphin shirt
job.
on. Come on, I think that's the definition of pain. Come on, I mean,
bro,
I cover a head coach who doesn't even know how to call plays sometimes.
And I'm sorry, Jonka, I have to show this, but this is the most recent success I've had. Sorry, Jonka.
Baseball needs a goddamn salary cap.
Damn.
Anyways, end of that topic.
Speaking of baseball.
Yeah. Speaking of baseball, this was our plug of the week, actually. Right. Sandy Alcantara had his spring training debut. It was his first time on the mound since his Tommy John surgery. He only went one inning, which is fine. It's spring training. Did strike out one. One of those pitches, he hits 99 miles per hour on a pitch, which was beautiful.
It was a gorgeous sinker. I mean, you just see
it. It was. But look, and I said in the plug of the week, he is probably one of the only, if not only, bright spot on this team. And you kind of start to think of, okay, what's the plan with, and I think it might have been you, Brandon, that mentioned it. What is the plan with Sandy going forward with this team? Is he going to waste his career away in Miami, or is he eventually going to be traded away to some other team?
I truly think Sandy wants to be here. I think he likes that leadership veteran role. The problem is Peter Bendix and Bruce Sherman going to keep Sandy here for the entire 2025 season? I mean, yeah. I think any Marlins fan and any baseball fan who watched Sandy's one inning yesterday against the New York Mets, you had to be floored. I mean, he passed that test with flying colors, right? One inning, 17 pitches, 13 being strikes, topping out at 99.3. I mean, that arm is fine. His right arm is fine. It's like Sandy of 2022 when he took home the National League Cy Young Award, and he probably has a chance to win it again this year. I mean, hey, that opening day matchup between him and Paul Skeens, easily the best pitching matchup on that board.
I'm gonna be there. I'm buying tickets for that.
Oh, good. Okay.
100%.
Great. Because I'm going to be in the press box, so we definitely need to meet up.
100%. Jonka, I invited Jonka. I don't know if Jonka's going to go. He's complaining that it's a Thursday at 4 p.m., but I told him, dude, it's Alcantara, bro, against Paul.
Right.
Skeens.
I mean, there's a lot of people, shockingly, Jonka, that are actually taking off work for this. I mean, as shocking as that sounds, but you got Paul Skeens, who's actually the betting favorite to win the NL Cy Young Award, and Sandy Alcantara, who, I mean, hey, he's going to make his first start since September of 2023. I mean, that is, I mean, obviously excellent news for the Miami Marlins. But
in honor of Brandon H. not being here tonight, I will say it. It's a guarantee. If I call Jonka up and I say, yo, Livy Dunn is here watching Paul Skeens, this guy will be at Marlins Park, Lone Depot Park, whatever you want to call it, in about 2.5 seconds.
Livy Dunn, I actually have to give her credit. She goes to like all of his games. It's not like, I mean, whether it's at home, whether it's at Philly, Wrigley, I mean, she is always there. Like, talking about a supportive, I mean, that is definitely, and I would imagine for opening day, I can guarantee you she's going to. I mean, she has to be there. It's opening day of a new season.
Yeah. Jonka, go ahead.
The issue that I'm having with the Sandy thing and the Peter Bendix and the Bruce Sherman problem is that if, let's say, Sandy does ball out this year, bro, and he's like has a crazy good year, for what we saw this past offseason, bro, and how pitchers were being so sought after and how highly paid they are in the big contracts, I don't think. I mean, I think our entire salary cap how do you say
payroll?
Our payroll is like $40 million. So let's cut the BS out. These owners are not going to spend anything on Sandy. So I think Sandy's gonna be out as much as they want to like bring in as much money as possible before he goes, because I don't think it would be nice for him to stay. Really, really nice. I don't see him doing it.
I think Sandy stays if the Marlins go on a run. I mean, and it's obviously a run that 99.3% of us don't expect them to go on.
Yeah.
But let's say come like June. I mean, I'll say even like late May, early June. Let's say the Marlins are just shockingly in first place, right? And whether it's the National League East, I mean, I'm throwing out something that mathematically is probably not going to happen, but it is sports, and like we always talk about, we've seen crazier things before. Yep. Let's say the Marlins go on a shock. I mean, how do you trade your star pitcher if the team is performing exceptionally well to what many of us thought?
Crazier things have happened with the Marlins.
Right. I mean, nobody thought they were going to make the playoffs 2 years ago.
Yeah, listen, bro. Yeah, that was with Jazz and with Arias,
which was nice, but then we couldn't even win one damn game in the first round.
Well, I mean, come on, they were never beat in Philadelphia at Citizens Bank Park.
No.
But I feel like the Dodgers have gone better. The Diamondbacks got better. The Mets got better. The
Marlins are easily if they're not the worst team in baseball, they're the second worst team in baseball.
What about the White Sox?
The Chicago White Sox.
What about Oakland?
Oakland actually spent money.
Tyler Soberstrom, bro.
Oakland spent money this offseason. I mean, the Marlins were the bottom dwellers in terms of spending money.
They're going to force them to spend money now.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw that report, right.
I'm just scared, bro. I feel like, yeah, sure, if he wants to stay and take lesser money, that's his prerogative. Not my problem, right? He wants to stay in Miami. Okay, good, fine. But watch, bro. You're gonna see another guy in the come up. He's gonna be just as good. He's gonna be younger, faster, stronger, and then they're gonna be offering him $200 million for 7 years, whatever the contract is in the future. And Sandy's gonna be like, bro, I'm still here in Miami making $20 million.
I actually saw a report that the Red Sox would be interested in picking up Sandy. And again, Brandon said it last week, I believe, that Peter Bendix and Bruce Sherman never said, yeah, Sandy is not, it's a non-negotiable. He's staying here long term. They never said that.
Right.
So that just makes you think, all right, these guys are open if they get a good offer for something.
But do you think management said that because they didn't expect Sandy to come out? I mean, and I get it. It was only one inning. It was 17 pitches. But do you think maybe Peter Bendix and Bruce Sherman said that because they weren't expecting Sandy to throw 99 in his first start? I mean, I get it. It's spring. It's absolutely meaningless. It's not against Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso. But, I mean, dude, he was throwing 99. I mean, he was throwing straight gas. Like 99. The arm's fine. Sandy's back. I mean, whether you want to say it or not. This just got me more excited for opening day. If you weren't excited for March 27th, you have to get excited now after watching those 17 pitches.
I just don't see a world where Sandy, who I'm sure, because why else would you play? Sandy, I'm sure, wants to win a championship. I just don't see a world where he's going to say, I want to stay here forever and win nothing.
Exactly. That's my only problem.
I'm just excited to see this Marlins team this season because there's a lot of young guys. There's obviously a lot of talent. Now, I get it. The team didn't spend money like we had hoped they would. But according to Bruce Sherman and Peter Bendix, they spent money. They just didn't spend money on the big name guys. So listen, I mean, all this chatter about is Sandy staying, is Sandy going? Starting March 27th, all eyes are going to be glued on Sandy and every fifth day. Yeah. So I mean, it's whether he's a Marlin, whether he's not a Marlin. I mean, time will tell.
I can see Sandy on the Padres. I feel like he gives me Padres vibes.
He does.
With Tatis, bro. Sandy Alcantara is a dark horse for the National League Cy Young Award. I'm saying it right now. With that stuff that I saw yesterday, I truly believe I would imagine he makes another spring start. Maybe Clayton gives him 2 innings, maybe an inning and a half. I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, you have to at least throw him out there for another start. You can't just let him pitch an inning and then, I mean, he does his side work and works with the pitching coach. I mean, you have to give him at least a couple more innings before the start of the season.
Before we go, I happen to have a problem with this team. If, like, let's say he walks, let's say they don't give him a contract that he likes and he doesn't sign it and he walks away and goes to another team. If you're gonna let that happen, might as well just trade him and get something out of it.
Well, if they do, assuming they do trade Sandy, they're definitely in it. I mean, I'm curious to see what the return is. I would imagine for a guy like him, you're getting something for him.
I mean, I don't think you're gonna get a pitcher for it, but I know Vladimir Guerrero is available.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you have a big star in this market.
I mean, are the Blue Jays willing to give him up though? I mean,
in the same division as the Yankees and the Red Sox, and bro, like
Orioles,
right? Oh, Orioles, right?
I'm in hell right now in this division, bro.
Oh no, again, that's why on the Hard Rock Bet, the Marlins are like plus 25,000 to win the NL East because it's probably not going to happen, especially being in the same division as the Mets and Phillies and Braves.
All right, final 10 minutes, 2 topics left. We're going to try to get through them. The next one is, it's been 10 plus games already this year.
14.
The Miami Heat, it's up to 14, where the Miami Heat have had a lead in the second half, and they cannot maintain the lead. They lost to the Atlanta Hawks tonight. They had a lead of 14 points last night against the Milwaukee Bucks. They blew that one. And, they got this trade. They got Davion Mitchell. They got Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins' best night in a Heat uniform came Friday against the Toronto Raptors with his first ever career win in Toronto, which is crazy to say. But, after this trade, granted, yes, people are going to say you got to give him more time, whatever, let him grow into it. But things have gotten, I would say, maybe worse since the trade. And I really don't know what's going on with the Heat. I really don't know.
I mean, at best, this team is going to be a play-in team.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
And we've talked about this 1,000 times. This Eastern Conference with the Cavs, the Celtics, Pacers, Knicks, Bucks, they're not winning a playoff series this year. They may win a playoff. They may win the play-in. Woohoo! Now you have to go either be the 8th seed and play Cleveland or be the 7th seed and play Boston. What are you doing? Unless this is like a 2022, 2023 run, what the hell do you think this Heat team's gonna do?
I don't even know if they come out of the play-in, bro. Like they play, it could be right as of right now, Orlando, Atlanta, or Chicago.
Orlando has a lot of injuries, though, right?
Yeah, but I think Paulo's back, Franz is back, his brother's back. I think Suggs.
Listen, and this is a number to be aware of. Since the trade, the Warriors are 5-1 in the Heat.
Oh yeah, no. Jimmy Butler is. I mean, he said he wanted to be happy playing basketball again, and he's certainly doing it. So,
bro, he's balling, bro. You're just basically giving Steph breaks while still on the court. Like he doesn't have to do as much.
I'm definitely excited come April. I'm excited to see how this Western Conference playoffs unfolds because there's a lot of scary teams. Lakers, Mavericks even. Because I want to see if the Mavs get a playing spot, like what could they do? Even though they obviously don't have Luka anymore, what could this Mavs team do? But let me tell you, if Golden State gets a playing spot, they could make a playing spot.
They're right now in the 9th.
Okay.
And so right now, they're one game behind the Clippers for the 6th spot, so they would be out of the play-in.
If
they can make a run,
assuming they get the 8th seed, let's say, and they have to play the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round, that would be a hell of a series.
Listen, I heard a lot from the trade that, Miami's really lucky they got Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is gonna be that guy. Andrew Wiggins' ceiling in his prime is gonna be in Miami. Do you guys think that's true?
Nope.
I think Andrew Wiggins, I mean, is the system the same as it was when he was with Golden State? Like, I think that's the first question that we should be starting with. I mean, was Andrew Wiggins coming to the Heat to be the guy? Because he was never gonna be Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
He was never going to carry that load like Jimmy Butler did from the bubble to the magical run to the NBA Finals against Denver. Like, what did I mean? Again, I'm a diehard Heat fan as well, but you have to be a little realistic with it. What were Heat fans thinking when they got Andrew Wiggins? Were the Heat going to go on this magical run and all of a sudden get out of a playing spot to now a top 5 seed in the East? Like, what were the? I told you guys this. Between Boston alone and Cleveland, and the way Boston's playing right now, Boston's on a roll. I mean, they embarrassed the Knicks again yesterday.
Yep.
Like, Boston is going to be scary come playoff time.
And they've beaten Cleveland, I believe, the last two times.
Right, and I believe they play Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken, this upcoming Friday night. So it's like these are legit teams that are in it to win it all, and the Heat have nowhere near the talents of Tatum and Brown and Porzingis, and we can go on and on about that. But I mean, what were Heat fans thinking when they got Andrew Wiggins? I mean, I said it wasn't going to be – sure, he'll have maybe a couple 20, 25-point nights, but I don't see what you guys were really thinking.
I said it. I told you, like, it's just – we're going to trade Jimmy Butler, a superstar in this league, for Andrew Wiggins and Nick Anderson, bro. Like – that's the problem I had with the trade. Like I understand that he was being a cancer to the team, but it's just like, okay, you could have at least offered something for KD or like something in return that's equal in value, bro. Like Andrew Wiggins is nowhere near Jimmy Butler level.
All right.
And so we basically got gypped. Like I know like disrespect to Andrew Wiggins. Like, okay, yeah, you're a former number 1 overall pick, but not all former number 1s are supposed to lead a team. You're not supposed to, they're all not like the best ones ever, but like still, you're just a role player. This whole entire team is just a bunch of role players. There's not a star on this team. I don't care what anybody tells me about Bam, not Hero, not Wiggins, not
I was going to
Jokic,
say
not
Tyler
Hero.
Hero, but
Nah, Tyler Hero not even a star to me, bro. He's not. There's a bunch of just role players, bro. There's not that one alpha guy, bro. There isn't.
well,
You
once
bring
Jimmy
over here like
once Jimmy
Anthony
got
Edwards. Anthony Edwards, you bring over here is alpha.
well,
With this
yeah.
team, okay, we got something. But now there's no star, bro.
I mean, once Jimmy got traded, all eyes were going to be on three guys: Bam, Hero, and Andrew Wiggins.
Well,
I had a 40-point night last night.
He's been. I can't complain. Hero has been balling out. I think
agree.
he's on track to be most improved player of the year. I don't know. I think it's a little bit of stretch from Jonka to say that Tyler's not a star in this league.
I don't think he is. I mean, I think he's living up to what his contract is, but I wouldn't say he's a star.
I don't know if I would say he's like a superstar, but I would definitely say he's a legit. I mean, he's a great six man. Didn't he win six man?
Yep, you did win six man of the year.
Okay, so let's say before we go to the last one, like let's say we make the play-in, or we either lose in the play-in, or we make the first round and we lose the first round. In the offseason, what do you realistically see this team doing, bro? Like straight up.
Cooper Flag, but they probably would have they probably would have to win the lottery first.
No, I think Cooper Flag is going to the Spurs.
Well, we first have to find out whoever wins the lottery, right?
Yeah.
I think he's going to the Spurs.
Brandon, I have a two-part question for you to address. And Mina Kimes was kind of talking about it, and she was kind of frustrated. She was saying, you could have Tom Brady behind an offensive line, and if the offensive line is garbage, no matter who's throwing the football back there, it's not going to work. So Will the Miami Dolphins finally address the O-line issues, and is Tyreek Hill finally on the trade table?
So to answer your first question about the offensive line, I think they do. And I'm saying that because Chris Greer, during his end of season media availability, basically said that this team needs to address it.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, what this team is going to look like at left tackle, whether Teron Armstead comes back, if he chooses to not come back, you have a future with Patrick Paul, who I heard I've heard he's lost about 10 pounds already this offseason. So he's looking to get a little bit bulkier, which that's I'm sorry, he's looking to slim down a bit. They already have a solid center, Aaron Brewer. I think a lot of us would agree with that. And they already have a solid right tackle in Austin Jackson to protect Tua's blind side. They have to address that guard spot. I don't think Liam Eichenberg and Rob Jones and Kendall Lamb and all this flippy flop. I don't think they need a true left guard and a true right guard. So to simply answer your question, yes, I think the Dolphins do address that offensive line. Now, whether it's the NFL draft in Green Bay or free agency, I can't give you that right now, but I won't be surprised if they address the O-line.
And second part, is Tyreek Hill on the trading block, or will they entertain it?
He's on the trading block if the Dolphins could find a solidified partner for him. I mean, look, you look at teams like the New England Patriots, the Washington Commanders. They have a ton of cap space. And I know the offseason just started. The cap's going up yet again. If they can find a good partner for him, I think he's turning 31 this Saturday. He's not getting older. I mean, I'm sorry, he's not getting younger. His attitude, obviously, that season-ending loss against the Jets in the locker room, that's a major turnoff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think the Dolphins are 100% sold on Tyreek Hill for this upcoming 2025 season.
Thank you for that, Brandon. And with that is going to end our night. Thank you guys for joining in. We appreciate every single one of you watching every single week. Stay tuned to all of our social media. We hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you next week for a brand new episode and the start of March. Have a good night.